Hello guys, this is Dama.82 and we are back for another episode of the exhibition matches. Just let me pause this real quickly here so we can see what designs I've spawned in here today. This one here should look familiar to some of y'all who have hopefully been or have followed the Steaming Pile of Ship tournament. This is the Indefatigeable by the Chazboy, and it is the champion of the series. Also, he has made a few changes to it. I believe he switched over to some injector engines. He's got some torpedo interceptor turrets down here, but beyond that, it doesn't seem like it's changed much. Looks like he still has the same basic gun setup and everything. Superstructure is the same. Yeah. And over here we have the Cheese Wedge by Yar the Bug. Unfortunately, this ship was intended to go into the tournament, but it didn't quite stay in there because Yar had some ethical issues with the beginner. He thought it was too cheesy for the tournament, essentially. Which is probably a good thing, too, because this thing looks like it is a beast as far as front-siders go. That's like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... twin barrel cram turrets. Yeah, I imagine he's got buttloads of armor up here in the front because that's pretty much what I would have been doing. Just to want to note something here real quick, I had to redo the propulsion here in the back. It wasn't set up to work in current version, so yeah, I just wanted you guys to be aware of that. I've spawned these at about 1,500 meters apart, about where we would have had them in the tournament, I believe. And let's just have a quick overlook here. That's actually not a bad price tag, considering. Yeah. Gio said he wanted to have a look at the statistics on these, so I'll just scroll through it so you guys can kind of see everything.
Hold on, the Cheese Wedge has 116 firepower in missiles. That's almost as much as in the crams.
In what?
In missiles.
I found that,
torpedoes.
in terms of the power calculation, I found that missiles tend to carry a fair bit of weight in terms of how much DPS they can put out.
Oh, the torpedoes down here. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
God.
like whole banks of torpedoes here. I want to put thumperheads on these personally, but I think he just wants to kind of spam these.
They have magnets. That was the last.
That's true. I did a lot of magnets in the tournament. I'm not entirely sure what kind of torpedoes these are, though. That look like they might be, what, fragmentation?
Fragmentation high explosive, it seems. Or something along those lines.
Yeah,
That
there's...
thing would have been horrible.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, we know, Gio.
So, yeah, it probably is a good thing that he didn't enter this after all. I don't think he would have won any beauty contest, but I think he probably could have swept the competition with this pretty easily. So let's go have a look over at the Indefatigable's stats here real quick. Yeah, this thing is like twice the cost, almost.
Well,
So it must be a fair fight then.
We're about to find out, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
it's gone up quite a bit
Uh,
in terms of cost between the versions.
I should note, though, I believe the maximum cost I had for the Steaming Pile of Ship tournament was 400k.
Yeah, we're way past that at this point.
Yeah, what happened with that boat?
Crams got more expensive. There's
Yes,
just
they did.
100K in crams.
I came up with like a cram ship with like a 24 gun broadside, and it's like 600k, give or take.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I might show it to you guys later when we're done recording this. Anyway,
Anyway.
so we ready to kick this off?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, here we go. And there's the Cheese Wedge getting itself into position, it looks like. I tried to
Does it not?
position these basically how I would have similarly set them up in the tournament, so we could get some kind of an idea how they'd perform against each other.
Yeah. To be
Well,
honest,
you lost the turret.
What's that?
Has the Wedge already lost one of its turrets?
It wouldn't surprise
damaged.
me. I mean, it's got like tons of
Well,
turrets, but no,
no,
it just had the
just
barrels
damage.
sheared off. That's all.
Yeah,
It does also have a whole lot of repair bots. So
I mean,
there's that.
considering the Indefatigable is also using crams. it
Yeah, but
will
Fatigable's
be-
got a LAM system.
Okay,
Hmm.
So that's probably where the extra couple of 100K came from, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Though, good luck trying to stop this with, Oh, I think those are probably going to miss.
There's no ballast tanks on those.
Nope.
Uh-oh. Nice spread, but, you know, they all missed. Or are all gonna miss. Oh, does it have anti... Oh, it has anti-torpedoes
Mhm.
too.
I think it would be doing a lot better against Chazboy's ship here, but it's kind of geared to fight against the Cheese Wedge, it seems.
He was looking
Yeah.
into the future when he was making the upgrades.
I think he was, yes, and he's had quite some time to be able to do it as well. But
Fortunately, I
yeah,
don't think those torpedoes have enough magnets on them.
you're probably right.
Can you ever have?
Honestly,
Too much or
and the
enough?
crams counter the cheese wedge quite a bit because you're gonna be landing on the deck rather than on the massively up armored front, but
It's a fairly decent
Let's say
lambs,
good for
though,
help.
just picking those crams out of the air like that.
I think they might be low packed crams, so it might be a bit easier than it looks.
From out there, I thought the sensors might have gotten knocked out on this thing. Not the way the crams are kind of twitching there, but I'm not sure now.
every
there's
time
a
it says
lot
that
of
the camera
individual
phone,
ones.
Okay, that was a lot
Oh.
at once.
Yeah, what was that, Ion?
Yeah, the turrets all have their own individual sensors fitted in, so it's going to be hard to blind the Cheese Wedge completely.
I would have done a very similar thing, to be honest with you. What was that you were saying there, matey?
I was going to say basically the same thing. Every turret seems to have its own camera, so
Yes. Oh, and while I got you guys here in voice chat, I am looking for volunteers to help me keep track of submissions for designs to be uploaded on the workshop, like engines and weapon systems and things like that, really modular stuff. So if anyone wants to help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it.
Are you asking us or the viewers as well?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
I mean, I'll gladly take care of the APS.
I might want to have like several curators, but yeah, matey so far has been the first volunteer. Thank you again for that, by the way.
I'd say put up an announcement saying you're
I
looking for people.
kind of did that.
Oh.
I put an announcement saying
Oh.
that I had a proposal for people to look over in the suggestions for the Discord, and that's where I kind of elaborated on the idea a bit more.
Considering
I got the impression you were actually suggesting having the separate dumps and things in there, rather than asking for volunteers. So
Oh, well, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear about that.
yeah, I think it wasn't quite clear in the actual suggestions thread that
Okay.
you were wanting volunteers.
to the tournament, just considering the cheese wedge is still alive, this thing would have been a formidable
I totally agree.
tournament.
I would counter that by saying in the tournament the Indefatigeable did not have this LAM system installed.
Yeah, I think it would have
Rather
probably
have that
curb
chance
stomped
for
the
torpedoes.
Fatigable.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
it would have been a lot more effective against it in the tournament conditions than
Yeah.
it is against this version.
I'm just marveling at the survivability, not even talking about anything else really.
And now we're just launching one torpedo at a time, it seems.
Yeah,
And then a swarm of anti-torpedoes just zaps it. Like
it's
the
just
lambs.
circle the ship just in case.
This is a bit of a sad sight.
Mm-hmm. And Cheese Wedge is at 95%, 94 now. It's quite the
So
slugging
again-
match, but I think
Okay,
what's
but
going to happen is Cheese Wedge is probably just going to run out of materials, and
Yeah, that's
Fatigable is just going to
already
beat the
died.
shit out of it after that.
I mean, thing is, the cheese wedge actually does have 160k materials,
Hmm.
which means none of those explosions are really doing anything
Yeah.
to her. It's just what confetti. It's nothing important being damaged.
And that's how we all know armor is basically free.
Yeah, because it's all nubified now, where repair heals is a totally valid defensive tactic now.
I mean, it
Remember
always
in the
was. It's
tournament-
just cheaper now.
Remember that in the tournament there was a restriction on number of repair bots.
That is
I
true.
think there was 4.
Uh,
A bit less.
might have been
And
5.
whatever. I think it was 4. Or at least it wasn't many.
It's been a while since I looked at the rules.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't mind doing another one of these tournaments. It was really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
I must
Yeah, it
finish-
was fun, except torpedoes.
I think I
Otherwise
might
fun.
start it up again around maybe Halloween later this year.
Ooh, spooky. Scary tournament?
No, I just figured that's about the time where I started it up the year before. Give or take maybe a month or two.
Yeah, it was around there.
Yeah. At least I think that's when I first started making the announcements and everything. The tournament I think didn't get finished up till probably about, what, January-ish?
A whole lot later, yeah.
I just hope
And
we
even
have
then they
enough chips to like have an even count and I not have to come up with some crazy fucked up way to try to make sure that the brackets are done correctly, because that was a nightmare.
Yeah, I guess.
The cheese wedge
Your
seems to be
sacrifice
slowly-
is valued. Will be remembered. Like,
The cheese wedge seems to slowly be running out of materials.
We can find out here. Yeah. I think that's probably what's happening here. Though this block number keeps going up and up and up too. So
so it's repairing faster than it's taking damage.
Well, this brings back memories from World of Warships and Royal Navy Heals. Just print a new ship,
uh-oh.
and again.
Had a bit of a lag spike there. That made me a little nervous. I'm getting some good block
Yeah.
confetti off of the cheese wedge. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's the third time that Cramp's been knocked out.
There's also been some friendly fire with the turrets. At least once, though.
How
The
much?
cheese wedge has been synchronized with itself. Because of damage, its shells have gone out of sync with each other, and that's
Mhm.
actually really hurting it.
Well, it didn't really hit anything in the beginning either. So.
Yeah, but it would have more chance to if its weapons were firing together. That's my point.
Well, they fire.
Now they're staggered all over the darn place right now.
I think Yard the Bug had like 2 full-size containers in this thing, so it's probably got a lot of materials to burn through.
Oh, yeah.
But I think a lot of it's going into repairs and not necessarily ammo production, because we haven't seen good torpedo volley for quite some time now.
Yeah, it could also just have lost some of the ammo barrels, but who knows.
Looks like this top one here might have gotten knocked out.
Hold on, just keep looking.
Look
it
at all the
seems
repair
like-
bots. Holy shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't even seem to be repairing fast enough now.
Mhm.
So some of them must have been taken out.
That is a strong possibility, yes.
A slow and painful death by 1,000 cats.
I don't know if I would say it's 1,000 cuts, because crams are a bit more blunt than that.
Well,
I believe the
It's not dying
cap on that was
quickly.
like, what, 1,500 or 1,500 millimeters, something like that.
you
wanna remember?
Seems familiar.
Yeah.
It seems like a familiar number at least. So. Somewhere around there.
I wonder if Yar used the cram cakes to make these.
I don't think so. These are 3x3 turrets, I think. So, no. And there's only really one turret Tetris you can do, which is 3x3, or maybe they were like 5x5. Who knows? At least they're not big.
Look at all those crayon parts.
All the confetti.
Yes. All the confetti you would ever want and more.
Yeah, I don't think that's not the kind of confetti you want. So
And the cheese wedge just keeps making more and more confetti.
Yes.
it's a confetti.
That was a pretty
generator.
good hit there. Yeah, the front of it's just like one solid block of alloy here. Not entirely surprised.
Which is kind of a shame because plunging fire doesn't care about that so much.
Which crayons are notorious for plunging fire, so.
Though not as much in my case because I thought crowns were a bit too weak, so I play with crown speed at 1.25. It makes them kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
And almost competitive.
So I'm starting to think Yar's strategy here, the reason why this thing was so cheap is that he could basically funnel all the resources into repairs and just have this thing heal tank as long as it possibly could.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. That's the kind of very meta build you would see in like Mentis tournaments. Yeah, it was a design like that won.
It has seemed fairly lopsided though so far here, hadn't it? Yeah, it's only like down to
that's because of the
73 right now.
lambs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it seems like the repair was have ceased functioning, so we have a torpedo volley on our hands, but... Well, the Indefatigeable is just fast enough.
I am starting to wonder though if Chazboy actually had a peek at the design before he went and submitted his changes.
Could be that.
Because this is a pretty hefty volley of torpedo
And this is-
interceptors here.
This is something you would do if you were making this campaign for proof, honestly.
Also, in the tournament, torpedoes were surprisingly effective in many of the battles they appeared in.
Of course, Gio's over here clearing his throat.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like people were dismissing them as not being useful because they were unguided.
that was
and
me and my hubris.
No, lots of people did.
So
and
tell me,
they
Gio, does
contributed
your
to
butthole
it.
still hurt from that?
Only a little bit.
Okay, so you can sit down again finally. Okay, good to know.
I mean, it was
So with
not
great
only
caution.
torpedoes, it was the whole bottom section of Geo's ship. Just
Well,
not
that's
being
kind of connected
armored
to
enough.
torpedoes.
Mhm.
So.
Well, it's also connected to the Kyushu, isn't it?
How so? I don't think Kyushu had any torpedoes, as I recall.
Yes, but the APS kept hitting the waterline and, well,
Well, the waterline is strong. It's just
Ocean.
the bottom.
yeah, if you keep hitting just below the waterline though, the insufficient protection does show in some rather fun HMS hood moments.
Oh, you mean like the ship breaking in half?
Perhaps.
Though that wasn't. Well, we don't know because it was not on video, so we don't know. It's just when you build on instinct and put a air gap on a ship where the rules forbid any and all spicy shells. What do you call them? Heat and hash.
So, question for you guys: should we just keep letting the ball roll on this? Because it's kind of decisive who's winning this here for like the last 10, 15 minutes now.
20
Uh,
to 25 minutes, honestly.
Thank you. I
This
would.
is- This
yeah.
is not an enjoyable match to be watching, if I'm going to be entirely honest.
Well, I said I
Dude,
would
I
do it, and
appreciate
here we
that.
are.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like the same thing happening constantly.
Pretty much.
Cheese Wedge is firing, but it can't get past the defenses on Indefatigeable.
But
Indefatigeable is
it
getting
can
choked
keep
off
up,
the Cheese
yeah.
Wedge, but it keeps fixing itself.
I'm pretty sure it would eventually beat the cheese wedge, but we'd probably be here for quite some time till that happened.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Wedge seems to have run out of repairables properly.
The frontal armor seems to be getting repaired very fast, though, so that's...
Well, the weapons aren't.
Yeah,
The
the
real
weapons
value is
haven't
gonna
seen
be
a
the
whole lot
target.
of priority as far as repairs. The hull has been repaired many, many times, as you can see by all the hit marks.
I mean,
Yeah, but the thing is, even with its full firepower, it couldn't get past the defenses
Oh.
Indefatigable's carrying.
You guys just saw that it stopped moving, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it probably is finally now out of resources, because it obviously can't seem to propel itself. And technically,
That's not a good sign.
by tournament rules, this would have been considered defeated.
So it's a win then. I mean loss.
Ooh. Still, it's kind of cool watching ship blow up, gotta admit that. So.
Yeah, I spend way too much time just doing that, in my free time.
That's true.
weapon testing.
But
We
Oh,
call
yeah.
it weapon testing.
I think we can call this a pretty secure win, though.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
So I think I'll just go ahead and wrap up the video there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the slaughter here, for lack of a better term. I'd like to thank our guest commentators, IMark3, Matey, and Geo. Am I forgetting anyone? No, okay, that's everyone. So have yourselves a hell of a day, and keep your hammer high. Later, guys.